Well, good afternoon, West and the world. Welcome to your review video for Thursday, October 30th, on the heels of this morning's lectures on the ideologies of change. In the past week, we have been making the leap from the 18th century, the 1700s, into the 19th century, the 1800s. This, we have tried to say, is not an inconsequential leap, because it's the decades that mark that transition between the 1770s, the 1820s, or thereabouts, that most historians look at in some form or fashion as the sort of hinge point from what they often refer to as early modern into sort of fully modern Europe, and, for that matter, Western civilization. The Industrial Revolution and the political revolutions in France and the United States and beyond set the stage for dramatic changes that we live with even to this day. On Tuesday, we talked about Mendoza the Jew and about how his life sort of connects to or embodies some of the major driving forces that are bringing about this change. And so words that emerged in that context, like anti-Semitism and nationalism, are going to continue to sort of partner with us to be accompanying ideas as we move forward through the 19th century. Today we added some other isms to that list and said that this time of this window of time that we're talking about, between about 1815, or the end of the Napoleonic Wars, and 1914, the outbreak of World War I, is sometimes called this age of isms, this time in which things are changing, but not driven so much by war as by shifting ideological kinds of commitments. Today we looked at two: Darwinianism, or the introduction of the theory of evolution by the process of natural selection, and secondly, Romanticism. When it came to Darwin, what I hope you understood and what we tried to emphasize out of this notion of natural selection is that what is unsettling about this is not so much its direct challenge to a literal reading of Genesis 1, though that is troubling for some people, but more because of the way that natural selection suggests an unguided, non-linear process of change in the world, that it is not about steady development, or, to use the word that we emphasized, the idea of progress. And that's going to be a very important theme when we get later on in the 19th century. The other major subject that we delved into, and the one that we gave the majority of class to today, is Romanticism. Romanticism, we said, is this cultural movement expressed in literature and the visual and musical arts that is a critique or a response to many of the facets of late 18th century European life. It critiques the Enlightenment and what Romantics see as the Enlightenment's overemphasis on rationality. It critiques industrialization and the ways in which industrialization sort of feeds into what they see as a kind of ugly, mechanized view of human existence, and they want instead to emphasize sort of the natural beauty of the world within which we live and the way that it inspires emotions of awe and grandeur about us. And then lastly, we said, Romanticism really sort of emphasizes the existence of, the phrase we used, and it may not be a great one, is this idea of natural sentiments. Things that that human beings share that bond them together. And one of those natural sentiments, we said, was the idea of unity in the nation. The idea that people share something in the way of a cultural heritage, that they value it and that it creates their identity. So for all of these different expressions, we looked at different pieces of literature, different works of art, heard different poems that express some of these ideas. So what you want to be able to do is to make sure that you can identify where those big themes play out in both the literary, the visual, and musical arts. So to be able, for example, to explain why Frankenstein is a work of romantic literature, what it is about Sir Walter Scott's poem *The Patriot* that makes it, that speaks to romantic sentiments about the nation. Or the one we perhaps dwelt on most concretely, William Turner's *The Fighting Temeraire Tugged to Her Last Berth to be Broken Up*. What do these works show us that is indicative of this romantic spirit? As we move forward, we're going to see that this romantic spirit, and particularly the ways it emphasizes bonds in the nation, are going to be absolutely central to people's identity. More on that when we return next week.